back where you are, and then I'll talk to her later.
Trial attorney, you scream like bloody hell to death.
Ready to go? Ready to go, defense?
Yeah, this case to me, you know, I've been kind of watching in the last 2 days, now that my Court of Appeals is over, and watching more and more of this as opposed to when I was prepping beforehand. But I mean, I watched the part of the presentation where, you know, where Binger was talking.
Hey, that guy the other day, while I was tanning,
victim, right?
This guy was there.
Victim.
You know, I don't remember what he said. But anyway, that guy, we got him to be on the stand.
The judge just asked
I think it's wild though. I don't think the other day he knew that.
a person we talked about.
I ran upstairs and found my head.
And they said no, and
You know, I
they
had
said,
headphones
well,
in my car
sit down, and then I'll
3
talk.
weeks ago.
I don't know if he's
I was
talking
like orange ones.
I don't know who he's talking about, but there was at the very beginning of the day a report that someone had contacted the
Like I
police.
sit here, I
They
want
had
nice
discussed
ones.
something about
I'm
this
like, I'm not
case
paying
with the juror.
like $50 for me. I think whatever.
We'll
Like,
see.
I have
don't
$50.
know if it's
Like
about that or
9,
not, but I just
7,
wanted-
6, 5. I like the smaller I get. But I don't ever get them. And so now I'm stuck with these things that are broken. You see what I did to them? I took them apart.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I was just gonna say is that
Why they-
the other part is that with that testimony that came out yesterday or the other day, where the witness, the chief prosecution's witness, I mean, that the victim is always the prosecution's chief witness, said, yeah, you know, I pointed a gun at him. I mean, in my mind as a litigator, I would have reeled back. This morning, I mean, reeled back on my defense. And the only reason why I say that is when you get that kind of concession in front of the jurors, like today they were talking, they had the expert up there that was talking about how many milliseconds there were between the shots. That takes away from the feel of the case right off the bat, right? You can, you know, analysis paralysis yourself to the jury in that you could get them to take them from feeling that you're right to being that you analyze the hell out of something and take away, you know, snatch away victory from the jaws of defeat on this thing. So I question sometimes that, you know, we're not in the room.
Folks, you can be seated. And I have overruled the last objection, so go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hernandez, you had indicated that you have provided with both the defense and the state with your full footage from the night of August 25th. Is that right?
Yes.
And you did that through an attorney from a law firm from Madison, correct?
Yes.
And that's an attorney whose firm is also providing services to the defendant in this case.
Today is the first time I'm hearing of this, so I don't have any bias because I just heard about this today.
After this incident, the shooting occurred on August 25th, 2020. You posted videos in support of the defendant after that, correct?
Can you repeat the date one more time?
After the shooting on August 25th, 2020, you posted on social media in support. And you did that, didn't you?
Define support.
You posted videos that you felt would help his case by showing aggressive behavior on the part of Joseph Rosenbaum, for example.
I posted the same video that is evidence today.
And in that with that video, you made some disparaging remarks about Mr. Rosenbaum, didn't you?
What would you say is that?
Do you remember what you said?
I'd like to hear it.
So you don't remember what you said?
I don't have no idea. I post on Twitter many times a day. I posted many videos. If you could specify what exactly you're talking about, I could correctly answer you.
Sir, his case by showing aggressive.
They permit lawyers to remind people that they're under oath. And it's happened a few times in the case here. It's not permitted. I don't think most judges do allow it. Of course, they're under oath. So it's actually a suggestion by the questioner that the witness is not being truthful, and you're welcome to argue that at the end of the trial. But don't use it as a preface to your questions. Okay?
Have you ever posted anything on social media?
Yes.
In support of Kyle Rittenhouse?
One could argue yes.
All right, guys.
You've also been watching this trial. while it's been going on.
I think.
correct?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm back or not.
And when you've been testifying, you've been referring to the defendant by his first name, Kyle.
Yes.
And you've been referring to the first person that he killed as Mr. Rosenbaum
Yes.
instead of Joe or Joseph, correct? Is that yes?
Yes.
Do you, as you sit here today, do you personally know the defendant?
No.
But yet you call him by his first name,
That's his legal name. What else am I supposed to call him?
Mr. Rittenhouse or the defendant?
I'm going to interject here. I do have a rule that is honored in the breach, as Chaucer wrote, that witnesses are to be addressed formally, so that there's no distinction between classes and races and that type of thing. Except I do permit an attorney representing the defendant to use a first name, because that would be the normal mode of address between a lawyer and a client.
This is actually spot
I
on
would
for
tell
a
you that
judge.
throughout this trial and every other, people slip into calling people by their first names, and if it's brought to my attention, then I discourage it or even stop it. But just so you know, it generally should be Mr. Rittenhouse and Mr. Rosenbaum. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
You testified that you observed Mr.
No, I've
Rittenhouse. You made
seen
a
a
hand
trial where that's been
gesture.
brought
You
up.
characterized him as trying to de-escalate the situation. Is that right?
Yes.
Were you wearing your body cam when that happened?
Yes.
This guy
Do you
streamed
have
the other
footage
day.
of
I
that?
had an incredible
Yes.
stream.
Have we seen that yet?
It's been submitted to you guys.
Right, but was it played when you testified?
No.
You also characterized, there was a video that was played of the incident at the Ultimate gas station with Mr. Rosenbaum and the dumpster. Fair to say?
The flaming dumpster.
You were personally at that location when that all happened, correct?
Yes.
Was the defendant?
I cannot recall. I was not there. Or I can't
You were there.
recall he was there or not. Yes, I was there.
You never saw him at that scene, correct?
No.
You also mentioned that at one point you observed a fire at a mechanic shop. Do you remember
Yes.
where that was?
It was a couple blocks away from Sheraton. I don't remember exactly.
That was some tires
Yes.
that were on fire in the middle of that lot, correct?
Yes.
And you have no idea who started that fire.
No.
You're not here testifying that Mr. Rosenbaum started that fire.
No.
You're not here testifying that anyone else in this case started that fire, correct?
I have no idea who started that fire.
In the video that we played earlier, this is the video where you're walking down the street, you see the tipped over garbage can, the road, the people lighting on fire.
By the way, I
and
have
then
a
you
new
start walking in the same
avatar today.
direction as the defendant. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, Rosenbaum.
It was
Joseph Rosenbaum.
It was Rosenbaum, furthest south on Sheridan, Mr. Rittenhouse, and then I don't know if you know this individual. There's a Richie McGinnis. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
And he was heading in that same direction between you and the defendant. Is that fair to say?
Yes, based upon the footage, yes.
And you're aware that there comes a time in the video that you made where the defendant starts to run. Do you remember that?
I didn't make any videos.
Ah!
Recorded.
Yes.
There comes a time in the video you recorded in which you saw Mr. Rittenhouse start running. Is that fair to say?
After Joseph Rosenbaum was lighting a fire in the middle of the street, he had his face covered.
Very satanic of
And
it.
he stopped and started going towards car source 3, walking. And a couple seconds after, you see Kyle Rittenhouse walk past the frame with a fire extinguisher.
The question I was asking you, though, sir, is there comes a time after that
Mhm.
where in your video, Mr. Rittenhouse starts running towards that car source. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And Mr. McGinnis, who is between you and the defendant, also starts running.
Yes.
And you start running.
Yes.
Why?
Because the rioters were saying en route to car source, and someone yelled out either burn in hell or burn inside or burn it down. It's hard to make out. But they were clearly displaying riotous, arsonist behavior prior to that and covering riots all 2020. I could tell something violent was about to happen.
Such as an arson or a fire?
Yes.
What else could possibly have?
At the time, that's what I was thinking.
So you were mostly concerned about running to get there in time to cover what you thought was going to be a fire.
Yes.
Was your decision to start running based on you seeing the defendant start to run?
No.
So you just independently decided to run at that time?
I just told you, people were saying en route to car source. Someone said burn in hell, burn it down. And the prior nights, the rioters were burning down buildings in Kenosha.
The people that you quote as saying those things, they're walking down the middle of the road, weren't they?
Some were walking, yes.
The people that say those things don't start running at the same time you do they?
I couldn't tell who said it.
Did you, these people you're characterizing as arsonists, rioters, whatever language you're using, were any of them running towards the 63rd car source?
Some were way ahead of me, in front of me, so I wouldn't be able to tell.
So you didn't know whether those people way ahead of you were running or not?
No, it'd be too far to tell.
So I know you said you started running.
What's that?
What?
That was weird.
What other people around you were running at that very moment?
Now he's going to go out to the bathroom?
If you know.
What's he doing?
Richie was in front of me, so I think Richie McGinnis was the one that started running. And then while we started hearing all of the noise,
Richie
and people saying,
McGinnis, do
"Burn
we
it
see
down,"
him?
that's when I started to go run towards the car source.
So one of the factors in your decision to start running was the fact that you saw Mr. McGinnis start to run.
Yes, one of the factors.
And you are, you post on Twitter, correct?
Yes.
And
Here it
you
comes.
have a Twitter
They're going
name
to strike
that
him down
is
for being
at
hostile.
Drew H Live.
Yes.
Is that right? And Drew H Live is your show that you have, or your website, correct?
Yes, on YouTube.
Okay. And you tweeted about this incident on the night of August 25th, didn't you?
Yes.
Shortly after everything happened.
Yes.
And you were talking about an armed citizen who opened fire on a rioter,
Yes.
right? And you characterized the rioters as planning to burn down the car dealership, correct?
Yes.
And it seems like you're suggesting then that the defendant he's the armed citizen that you're referring to, right?
Yes.
That he is, in your opinion, was
Richie McGinnis was the
necessary
guy who's
action
like,
to stop these rioters. That's
Matthew
what your tweet
McConaughey.
is basically suggesting, right?
At the time, it appeared that he was attempting to protect the local business from
So-
violent rioters that had already displayed that behavior 2 nights prior.
So this is an example, and this is, by the way, this is at 11:35 p.m. on August 25th, 2020. I know you said you're from Arizona. Is it possible that this was Arizona time, so 2 hours behind us? Because the shootings hadn't happened here until about 11:50 p.m. So I'm wondering if that's why there might be a time difference. Do you know?
No, I posted that. Are you referring to the video of the shooting of Mr. Rosenbaum?
That's part of it, yes.
Okay, yeah, I posted that specific video maybe about 20 minutes after it happened, the original video.
And by that time, you had made a conclusion in your own mind that what the defendant did was the right thing. Fair to say?
I would have to take a look at the specific tweets to remember what I was saying and why I was saying it.
This is the tweet from 11:35 p.m. on August 25th, 2020, which in Kenosha would have been before the shooting actually occurred.
oh, geez.
And you say, it appears an armed citizen was defending the car dealership and opened fire on the rioter who was attempting to vandalize or burn the dealership down. Before the shooting took
Really?
car dealership, end quote. Do you remember that tweet?
Yes.
And that was shortly after this all happened.
Yes.
So what's the case he's gonna make here? He's trying to say that Kyle premeditated this, that he was friends
you
with
were
Kyle.
also asked if you had observed various individuals that night, and you've told us about your observations of Joseph Rosenbaum. Fair?
Yes.
And have you showed us or talked about all of the observations or videos that you have with regard to Joseph Rosenbaum?
Yes.
Do you know if you have any that pertain to Gage Grosskreutz?
No.
No, I don't, or no, I don't.
No, I don't know. It's a lot of footage. I would have to go through a lot of footage. He might run through a frame randomly. So that's what I would say.
Can we pull up Exhibit 152, please? And we're going to play this at the 1 minute and 51 second mark. All right. Mr. Hernandez, are you able to see that okay?
Yes.
All right, can we play that, please? Pause. There is an individual who is crouching on the ground wearing a blue hat with what appears to be some white lettering on it. Do you see the person I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
I do not right now off the top of my head.
Is there any disagreement that that's Gage Grosskreutz? And you were recording this because there's someone on the ground there that appears to be injured and is being treated by medics. Is that fair to say?
Yes, because they were rioting.
Okay.
Yes, because they were rioting.
Let's go to exhibit number 153. Oh, Karen, are you okay?
Oh, Karen, are you okay?
Do you need a tissue or anything?
Do you need a tissue or anything?
Let's go to exhibit
Karen, are you
153
okay?
at
Do you
the
need a tissue or
40-second
anything?
mark, please. Can we back it up 10 seconds, please? Go ahead.
Pause.
Mr. Hernandez, is this video that
What's
you
the
recorded on your
prosecution's
body cam?
name?
Yes.
And did you see something that was being shown in your direction?
Yes, a laser.
Where was that coming from?
I have no idea.
You recorded this video maybe a lot or two away, a house property away from the 59th Street car source, didn't you?
Yes.
And that's a laser coming from someone who was up on the roof of that car source, right?
Yes.
What's a roof?
And you're
That's what my
holding
dog
up your
does.
press badge because you're worried that someone who's pointing that laser at you is also at the same time pointing a gun at you, correct?
Yes.
And that made you fearful for your safety, didn't it?
The context of this is the rioters had already attempted to get into spark some kind of confrontation. That's what I testified to earlier. So then they went behind this building and started throwing rocks at the people on top of the building. Okay.
My question was very simple.
Oh, what's his badge today?
When
What's
that
the
person
Star
on the
Wars?
roof is shining that laser pointer
Is that
at
the
you,
Empire?
and you think that they're pointing a gun at you, that made you fear for your safety, didn't it? You
Did I mess that up?
And you were fearful for your safety at that moment, weren't
I was fearful against the rights.
you? You question?
Yes, because I didn't want to be second rider.
And you were fearful for your safety at that moment,
Wait, what's going on?
I was fearful against the rights.
sir? At that moment, when that person on the roof is pointing a laser pointer at you and you think there's a gun pointed at you, you were fearful for your safety.
Because I didn't want to be second rider.
Are you able to answer that question with yes or no? Fair enough. Another question.
Playback speed normal. Hello.
Mr. Hernandez, do you believe that posting videos
What's that?
What you saw.
2.4x.
was done to help Kyle?
No. because
How did it?
I posted all
Oh man, this is really, really irking me. Where's the settings? Playback speed. Normal. What is? Hang on. I've got it now.
these videos on social media.
Oh
had no
my
idea
gosh,
who
I'm
Kyle
so
Rittenhouse
sorry.
was or
I don't know
Joseph
what happened
Rosenbaum
there.
the night of the riot.
And
No.
the purpose of posting the videos was
There you
what?
go. Jeez.
To report. I'm a journalist. I'm a reporter.
Mr. Bringer had showed you a picture of or a video of the green laser thing.
Mhm.
Any idea who did that?
Green
I have
laser.
no
I
idea.
love it.
Nothing else.
You say you're a journalist and a reporter?
Yes.
Earlier, you identified yourself as a professional commentator.
All the above.
I hate this
Is it
guy.
your practice as a journalist to interject your personal opinion into the stories you're reporting on?
Yes.
No.
All the
But
journalists
you
do
did that
that.
here.
Where?
All the journalists
On
do
August
that,
25th.
dummy.
A few minutes after these shootings, you posted on Twitter your opinion as to whether the defendant in your mind was right or wrong in doing what he did, correct?
No, I said apparently at the beginning of that statement.
What effect does that have?
It means apparently. It doesn't mean that this is 100% my opinion.
You had already jumped to a conclusion, an apparent conclusion at that moment, right?
That's what apparently means.
But that's not what journalists do,
Ooh.
right?
I don't know where we're headed here.
I'll be done. Thank you.
Okay, you may step down, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we're to the point, I think, where we need to make black and I believe my associate has emailed the updated report to your clerk. And once that's done, I think we're done. I do wish that all the pictures that Nathan DeBrune viewed be published to the jury. I never did that when I moved them into evidence.
You'll have to give the numbers you want to show to the
Okay.
jury,
I can find that.
but you can do that.
So, okay. I don't know. Yo, I'm trying to do three things here at once. One, I just got an update from Windscribe. It's a VPN. I'm looking for a VPN. Does anybody know of one, a good VPN? I missed out last year when there were specials on lifetime memberships and stuff. Oh wait, where's this at? Crud. Also, I'm sorry I was late in here today. I didn't get to do this morning. I was of all things, I had a. Okay, this is kind of exciting. So, Thanksgiving's coming up, and let's see here. Let me make sure the judge. I still got his feet on. Volume cranked. I'm gonna boost that volume too. All right. So anyway, Thanksgiving's coming up. What do you do? What's your preferences? So I'm for our bread this year. You know, you get bread, right? For Thanksgiving, rolls usually. We're doing biscuits. Homemade biscuits. And I'm so excited about it. And pie. We're going to have a pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin pie, but I think it sounds fun. It's like pumpkin pie. Like,
Can I give those?
Nope, they're not back. They were back. They're not back. All right, I cannot type and talk at the same time. But anyway, so here's my problem. I like chess pie. I like peanut butter pie. I like chocolate pie. I don't know if I've had caramel pie. Have I had caramel pie? I have had caramel pie. Duh, I make caramel pie. Oh. Now, for Thanksgiving, you know, what's dessert without whipped cream, right? I mean, why even have it? Why have dessert if there's not whipped cream? Y'all that don't eat whipped cream, you're strange. You know that, right? You're strange because you hate yourself. That's what it boils down to. Now, I can understand not caring for the stuff that comes in a can, but like if that's on top of something, I look at that. Well, I mean, if it's on a right like pastry type thing, I include pie as pastry. You usually think of pie as having whipped cream, but it's amazing. Like homemade, gosh, it's so good. And I make homemade whipped cream. Usually make ice cream. Now, the problem with ice cream is I need a container. I just realized I should have kept the old ice cream container. What I'm looking for is I'd like to have something like ceramic, that like a half-gallon ceramic bowl that I could put a lid on. That would be awesome, like a silicone lid. Anyway, so yeah, my wife, she's got today off as well for what is today? Veterans Day. I almost said Valentine's Day. She has a day off as well. You see what I'm doing? I'm streaming. No talking yet. So anyway, that's the exciting thing. Got to get some of that stuff out of the way this morning. It was awesome. I need to be putting lights up on the house right now, but I'm here doing this. I I may take a break. We could get through Drew Hernandez. That's who I really want to get his testimony on here. But I'll tell you guys, it's I like that. I'm a smart person. Yeah, I just Windscribe. I got a freebie. I get like 20 gigs a month using them, which isn't anything. I mean, that's like a day, right? But it's I've never had a problem with them. And here's the sad thing is, I think it was last year around this time, you're hitting the deals, and they had a deal for like $17.99 lifetime subscription. Did I get it? No, because I'm an idiot. And that's what I'm looking for is lifetime subscription for like less than $20. They'll be back. Oh, hey, the thing to get Hulu's coming up. Hopefully they do their deal again where it's like $2 a month. It used to be $1 a month for their basic package, and they run it for Black Friday. I hate to say it, I can do all my shopping on Black Friday, like everything, because you got to get some stuff for yourself during the holidays. Everything I want on Black Friday has become subscriptions. It is the worst thing in the world. I'm sitting here going, he's like, oh yeah, cool. I got all this cool stuff, right? Like, I mean, I've got like every channel there is, but it's like, I don't get anything in the mail. I don't get anything fun to open. No, but I've got everything. I'm subscribed to everything. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over. Oh, that's a cool looking thing. I didn't know I did that. Sometimes I amaze myself. I'm going to go to, what's the, save $1. What is the Slick Deals? Golly, that's sad we can't remember that. Why? That's horrible. Why is this still quiet? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. That's horrible. Oh. Why is this so quiet? Hang on a second here. Am I messing this up? No, he's talking to his lawyers. I wouldn't be on there. The worst thing I've found about doing a live stream, is that it always seems like there's something that you forget, or there's been an update and you miss it. And so you're trying to do something because like something big, huge breaking right now, right? You got to do it immediately. And it's like, I don't know if I'm running the sound or not. Oh, geez. What's this? I gotta have some headphones, I've decided. Oh, hey, these, here's something. I'm looking at Slick Deals. Amazon has, where'd this go? So you can get thermal insulated curtains from Amazon right now for as low as $7.49. What's great about these are they're thermal insulated, it's one, but man, they cut out these sound like you wouldn't believe. How do I get to that? Because that says $25. Gotta apply a coupon. Yeah, that's not bad. What do you get? Do you get two of them? Oh, wow. 2 panels. You can do a single panel because I've got curtains, but I can do a single panel behind them. I'll see what they mean when they say thermal insulated. Ooh, they have coffee color. Ooh. I'll tell you, the thing to not do is do not get white blackout curtains. The color will still come through. No, no, no. Oh, that's awesome. They have a black layer facing the window. Let me see what the customer images are. This is really neat. $750, man. That's cheap. Wait a second. Oh, they got that look to them where they're no, I guess not. I thought it had that fake velvet look. I'm like, I don't want that. Hmm. That's a good deal. Uh-oh. What was that I just saw? I have no. Oh, the attorneys left. Everybody had to go to the bathroom. Their warm food today wasn't good. Who's the guy just sat down on the left there? It looks like the kind of like the attorney for Kyle. One of the attorneys there, the Hitman video game attorney. No. Yamaha wireless earphones were 130 and they're $30. These are gonna be gone. So Kyle, his breakdown the other day in court. Sorry, I gotta get off of shopping. Go back to real life here. Kyle's breakdown the other day in court. Like, it was terrifying. Like, it made me feel panicked for him. Like, trying to catch my breath. And it did exactly what I thought was going to happen. You had people try to politicize it. And, I mean, well, heck, look at LeBron James. LeBron James called him a crybaby or something, eating sour heads. I mean, LeBron James, dude, like, that guy, he just sucks. But anyway, they made fun of Kyle. And like I said, it's a traumatic, emotional scene that happened. And other people said, they felt like how I did, where it bothered them as well. You can't really explain why. It's like you've never seen something like that happen before. And then as the night progressed, you started seeing answers. I was like, oh, now that makes sense. And what makes sense about it is that was what PTSD looks like. And that freaked me out. I know PTSD, you kind of thought, like, at first, when you first started hearing about it, that, didn't make sense having such a thing and stuff. And I remember something happened to me. I was walking into a place, I've been before, and it was just, it was just, okay, I'll tell you what, if you walk into your high school now, and if it hits you, you walk in, it smells exactly like high school. You have all those memories just flash back into your head. It's almost like a flash of light. And you kind of get panicked. It's like having that dream that you wake up. You're in school and not wearing any pants, right? Well, that's kind of like I had a feeling like that, like your spidey sense is tingling. You want out of that situation. You don't want to be there. Something like that. But the thing is that got me was like, it's almost like you need to breathe, take a deep breath. And it was explained to me that was like, an effect of PTSD. Not that I had PTSD, but that, I associate it's associated with a very traumatic experience. And I kid you not, like when I read that about Kyle last night, that's what we were witnessing. Man, that hit me hard. I was like, that makes so much sense. And PTSD, it can happen to anybody. I've got another one. I'll tell you one that I say is PTSD. It bothers me to no end. It absolutely. I'm terrified of this. Even preparing to say it has got me. I can feel my heart rate start to go up. We have a crawl space underneath our house. I hate going under there. And I think it goes back to because we had a small pinhole leak. And it's like, a plumber's going to cost probably hundreds of dollars. Don't know. I don't even know how to get a hold of a plumber. I don't even know how you look them up. Like, I would just be like, oh, you look in a phone book type thing. Very just, nonchalant. But it's like, that's not how anything works. You don't do that. If you don't have a guy before it happens, trying to find a guy when it does happen is horrible. So anyway, I had this pinhole leak, and here I was stuck. I was at the house by myself, underneath the house in this crawl space, trying to fix this pinhole leak. And are they coming back on? Okay, they're coming back on. Anyway, I just absolutely hate going back underneath the house. I don't want to do it, and I would pay hundreds of dollars to not do it.
It is. I'll just
PTSD.
have to get set up. It'll take me a couple minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So is Drew Hernandez off? Oh, I forgot about I didn't hit enter on this chat. I put the lights aren't twinkling. Yeah, please breathe harder. Yeah, I'm there. I just took a deep breath. I've got a allergy deal I'm dealing with. And gosh, you should have seen me Monday. So sorry about that. Everything I do is loud, and I don't have any appropriate filters. And is Rigger, I think that's the plaintiff's attorney's name.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Black, since we talked earlier, you have provided us with a 7-page document that contains some information regarding the modifications that you made to some of these videos. Is that fair to say?
Specifically, the 2 videos that you asked me about that we use as monitors. Yes, sir.
One of them was the video number 6. It's observation number 16 on your list. And this was one in which I had asked you earlier if you knew the source of it, and I believe you indicated at the time you didn't know where it came from.
I said I knew that I had it. I just didn't have the exact name.
Sure. Now that we've got some further information here, do you know where that came from?
Yes, sir. And that would be the, moving by my cursor, the video that is denoted as the N as in Nora De Bruin video -img files.mp4.
And that is Nathan De Bruin?
It's whatever that video says.
Okay. So you don't
Who is this guy?
personally know if that was Nathan De Bruin or who it was, you just have it marked as a file name, basically.
I have it marked as how it was given to me.
Do you know when you got that video? Let me put it this way. Did you get that video since you prepared your preliminary report in July?
I don't know. I can take a look at my other items here and give you a good.
Please.
Here's what's so frustrating about this. I really cannot figure out what the end game is on the prosecution. They're bringing up a bunch of stuff that would plant the seed of doubt into a juror's mind. Like yesterday, talking about Kyle saying he wished he had his rifle when he saw looters or something like that. Okay.
The video itself would have been with the original discovery, which would have been the evidentiary items reviewed in my preliminary reports. The interview statements of Nathan De Bruin that would have coincided with it would have been in the secondary discovery, which would be in my supplemental report.
And with regard to this video, in the report you gave us since we last talked, it indicates here that you trimmed the video and it indicates you enhanced the levels. So you say you adjusted the contrast to 14.4 and the brightness to 175.1. Am I reading this correctly?
You are reading it correctly. However, if you take a look slightly forward in the report, these are matched estimated values post-production. In other words, I didn't capture it at the exact moment. I was working on this and during the last time we talked, and I matched the levels consequently.
What do you mean you
I have no idea
matched
what those levels
of
are talking about.
To the appearance of the video. And in other words, what you're doing is you're adjusting contrast on one side of it. And if you want, I can show that to you.
No, you can
Okay,
just describe it.
that's fine. And you're adjusting brightness on the other. There are two slider items, so to speak.
Sure.
One slider goes up from 0 to whatever, the other goes down.
I think we've done this a lot on our own personal cell phones. What I'm wondering is, how did you arrive at those settings for contrast and brightness? What were you comparing them to, or where did you get that from?
The actual video.
So you had a raw video from the source which had a certain contrast and brightness level?
The video that was given to me that
What's the best day of the week
yes,
to ride
a
on?
raw video with
And then when you did work on that video, you adjusted the contrast and the brightness on your work to try and match the original?
no. Okay.
Misunderstanding.
No, and I'm probably misspeaking. The process on this is I have a video. I cut out the piece I'm going to work on so I don't have it. It takes a lot of energy or computing power to work on it. It has that amount of frames. And then I process that piece. So that piece of video, I run through, in this case, with some very just simple processes.
The rest of the trial,
which
has
is
been
I
phenomenal.
level adjust, which is just simply adjusting.
I would have died with that phone ring right
brightness
there.
and
Having
contrast to see
the
if I can get more
ringtone or
clarity
the dial tone, whatever it
And
is,
then from there,
for
I like
24.
what the clarity looks like because I can see a preview of it. Okay, it looks like I can see a little bit more, do whatever. I then put it into a no audio track, as we already discussed earlier, an MP4 file. And I say, it'd be nice if this was a little bit slower so I can make more sense out of it. And I simply adjust the frame rate. If it was 60 and I wanted
Yeah,
a
dude,
little
we all
slower,
can do
maybe
that
I'll
right
start
here in
at
our,
a 10, maybe I'll go down to 6 until I can
computers.
discern stuff. So that's what I'm describing. Big file original, raw. What was given to me is raw. Extract, same exact speed, no alterations, no nothing. Then the extract, levels enhanced, slowed frame reduction.
So what I'm getting at is when
Gary
you
Oldman here doesn't
have
know
that
what he's
extract
talking about.
and you're enhancing the levels, you personally
Oh my gosh,
are
that's
adjusting
Dana
the
Carvey.
brightness and contrast.
Look at the
in
back
that
there.
extract.
That is absolutely correct.
And you're doing that because you're hoping that by making those adjustments, it'll make things in the
This guy
video
right here.
easier to see.
Well, then
That's
show.
fair.
And with regard to the rest of the document you gave us since the last time you testified, you also indicate that you did a similar process with the EG on the scene or EG on the go video, which shows the second set of shootings. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
And
What was
again,
that
with
Dana
that,
Carvey
you
video?
adjusted the contrast and the brightness yourself.
Yes, sir.
And you did that because you were trying to make it so that things in that video were easier to see.
Also correct.
Okay. You played for us earlier that video on your computer, broadcast onto our TVs. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And when you played it for us, you had it slowed down to a certain speed. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I thought I heard you say earlier, and maybe I was wrong. I thought you said a quarter speed.
That's what I thought it was. It's actually, and let's make sure we're talking about the right video. Which video? You're
The Brandon on the scene video. I think this is on the second or maybe third to last page of your most recent document.
Right. So that would be, if you take a look on the original starting out at approximately 60 frames per second, that would be, I guess, page 4. And then it goes from 60, reduced down to 7.5. So the math would be a little bit around 8, down to 1/8.
So the version that you played for us this morning, it was at 1/8 speed.
Approximately, yes.
All right.
And is that a new
This is gonna be
video
awesome when I
file
get this to work.
that you've created using your software?
When when it actually changes the frame rate, it produces a different file from that.
That's
Yes.
what I'm asking.
Yes.
So you have a file on your computer that is the BG on the scene video at 1/8 speed. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say it's the BG on the scene video extract, the shortened version at 1/8 speed, or approximately 1/8 speed.
And that's what you played for us earlier.
Yes, sir.
So if we wanted to, for example, we could take that file, mark it as an exhibit, and introduce it into evidence in this case.
Yes, sir.
I would like to do that, Your Honor, with the defense permission.
I have no problem. I would ask that all the videos that you referred to be marked on a hard drive and put into evidence.
I assume that's not something you can do instantaneously. That'll take a little time for us to put them on a hard drive or something along those lines.
If you give me a hard drive, I can do it whatever
We
instantaneous.
can work on that after. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
When you were working with these videos, did you change anything other than the color and contrast? We've already talked about frame rate, poor question, long day.
Right.
You changed the frame rate
Correct.
on some of them. You changed the color and contrast on some of them, correct?
Well, I didn't change the color. I changed the brightness.
Color. I'll ask it this way, because were any of the frames color added or subtracted?
No, sir.
Okay. When color is added by either the operator or the program, that's called interpolation.
All right, check out my
It's a
avatar.
term,
When
yes.
screen,
And
goes
those
back,
are
it shows the guy in the
Done
background
through
again.
various different ways. Is that a fair statement?
That's fair.
Okay. One of them is bicubic.
That is a type of interpolation. Yes.
Okay. Can you name the types of interpolation?
I can name some of them, that especially the ones that this software allows me to be aware of or qualified in.
Go ahead.
The three of them would be, for example, nearest neighbor, bilinear, or bicubic are three specific types of interpolation or algorithms used in that. Now, something that should be known about this is these are done primarily when enlargements are being done.
Now, nearest neighbor, it was the first one. The second one you said?
Bilinear,
Bilinear. And the third?
bicubic.
Nearest neighbor
Sound
for
stop.
something that's blown up or magnified.
No, what nearest neighbor does is it takes existing values within the frame already and uses those existing values to fill it out, so to speak. If I had something that was pitch black here, 100% black, and it said, hey, we need to get bigger, it would fill it out only using that color of black or white or whatever else happens to be within the frame.
Bilinear, does that add
That reminds me of
colors?
somebody.
To some degree.
What's
In
the
other
song
words, if
now?
you had something that was, well, let's just use like a line of blue, and you had a line of red, there would be something that exists between the blue and the red value here that would not necessarily have been there before, so to speak.
So the computer, through its program, fills in the blanks, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
Bicubic, does that add anything?
What's
Yes,
point
much
of
in the
this?
same way as
Am I
bilinear
just
does.
Dumb?
But the difference
Am I
is,
that dumb?
as
Now, I
it
understand
sounds,
you're trying to get
linear
into
is
evidence.
more,
I understand you
think
have to
straight
do
lines.
basic
Bicubic
stuff,
is
for
if I
the
had something in the
jury,
middle, it
but
would
this seems like technical
basically
lingo that
gradually
you use
go out
early
to
on.
match the other color. So if you were to think about it like a progression, you would start here, and if I have so far to go to get here, it would take a little bit more of each of that color. So you'd have a much more seamless image. You'll get much less jaggedness to it, that type of thing.
And as you sit here today, is there any clip that you could take and just show by moving the bars, color and contrast, what happens? Not color, brightness and contrast, I believe.
Yeah, I can actually.
Could you demonstrate that for the jury?
Oh
Take
man,
one of the standard clips.
one of the standard clips. I'm hoping this.
And you just want the idea of brightness and contrast, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Are they going against the FBI stuff? Because that would be so awesome. Am I that loud? My microphone that off?
And I'm not going to change any frame rates, just show it as is?
Correct.
Okay. So what you can see on the screen is these two sliders up here. And I'm going to go down to a place that's got a little bit of something in it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in that direction, and you'll notice it lightens up. If I were to keep sliding in that direction, it lightens up some more. If I wanted to get a little bit more contrast to it, and then as Mr. Binger has already described, I move them from the other. Those are the two values in the report.
And so basically what you've done is taken a video that is dark and unrecognizable and turned it into something that's useful.
Yes, sir.
And you haven't added anything to it?
No, I haven't added anything to it, nor has the computer added anything to it. There's no interpolation being done with this other than the lightening and the algorithm for the lightening and the contrast, but there's no additional pixels being added. I'm not affecting the pixel count.
And you did that on some of the videos that we've shown this jury previously?
The two videos that have been demonstrated to this jury that I worked on, that I did clips from, this is all that I did. There was other videos worked on that I did do enlargement and these type of things. They were done by nearest neighbor lossless. As far as I know, they have not been presented to this jury.
Understood. Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
You may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
There's some housekeeping matters.
About 10, 15 minutes, so please don't talk about the case during the break.
Okay, so we got a break now, and evidently my microphone sucks, and I'm going to try to reset it. So if I don't get reset, then I don't know. But right now, the guy who's talking is doing forensics for for photographs. He's a Photoshop guy. They should get Adobe in there. So anyway, this is Dr. Adobe. That's what we're gonna call him. And I guess right now it's just a potty break for everybody. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I'm going to stop my stream, try to reset everything, and hopefully I get back. If it doesn't work out, I will just keep it on mute. And y'all be good to each other. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, please. And until next time.
Make your offers.
Hopefully be in 15 minutes.
You can talk about it now so that we can tell whether there'll be an objection, but make the motion in front of the jury, because when I give the instructions, I'll